For me, it's been really cool to know that, like, as much as I've wanted to create the future that little Elliot would have wanted, that I also get to do it alongside you and everyone else, where we're sort of carving out the future that we want to see. So thanks for being willing to do all that. And also, your cats are adorable, and I love your content when you post about them. So
Thank you. I'm surprised she hasn't made an appearance.
there's time. All right. Well, thanks, Luna. We're gonna move on to our next speaker. Next we've got Jayden Ruff from South Coast Equality, which is in Oregon. Jayden, I've gotten to meet through a few different conferences in Oregon, and also just a phenomenal human. So very excited to have you with us, Jayden. Please feel free to take it away and share all you'd like.
Hello, can everyone hear me? I tried to wear like some really cool earrings this morning, and I hope those steal the show. But my name is Jayden. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm the director of the South Coast Health Equity Coalition, serving both Coos and Curry counties. And I'm really excited that I get to one, be invited to this conversation, and really grateful that all of the work that Elliot and all of us across spaces, across communities are able to do. And so the message that I wanted to carry this morning was strength. Oh my gosh, experience, strength, and hope. So, yeah, I don't know. Like normally, like I don't have butterflies, and I do this morning, which just means that I care a whole lot, right? And so, I just wanted to kind of name the fact of when I first got started in community, and I first moved to Oregon. I got acquainted to, I was looking for community. I was looking for LGBTQ affirming community spaces. And I stumbled across like this flyer and it was a barbecue. And I missed the barbecue, but then I saw another flyer where they were hanging where there was like a hangout space. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go and um kind of like, be in community. And when I opened the door to the space, it was a queer youth group. And like when Elliot was just naming like what baby Elliot would have wanted, I could only think about what baby Jayden would have wanted as well. And if I had a space when I first came out in eighth grade, then I probably wouldn't have had to go looking for affirmations in all the places outside of community and things like that. But I'm really grateful for that path as well because that's where my experience comes from, my lived experience, which allows me to connect with people that share some of the similar identities as myself. And so, as just a Black trans woman, what does it mean? I wanted to define for myself and for other people what my path to liberation has looked like. So I have an experience of not belonging, not having that sense of belonging. I definitely felt like I was different than everyone that I came across, and just did not know how to be comfortable in my own skin. And I want to just name like the power of visibility. I remember I stumbled across a YouTube clip of Katrina Ebony voguing. And I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know who that is, what that woman is, but that's me. And seeing another femme queen trans woman standing in all of her glory, all of her beauty, all of her courage, and all of those things. And so I know that for me to be able to stand in place today, leave my house and show up in the world, that I am attached to some lineage from ancestors and transcestors. And so when I remember like when I first started my transition, I was so scared because I was scared of who I would lose. Would I be accepted? Um, oh my gosh, like I'm of age now. Would it be really hard? And but also like watching everybody live life and saying, why can't I do that? Why can I want to do that? Why can I do that? And I realized that I navigated the world willing to keep people in my life. And I didn't have anyone around me to say, baby, it's okay. Baby, I got you. Baby, show up in the world, take up space. And I was telling other people that, but not necessarily being accountable to the message that I was carrying. And so once I like destroyed myself a little bit, and I had nothing to lose, and it had nothing to lose, and I showed up and I started my transition. And I will tell you, when we talk about creating brave spaces, when we talk about like the mental health component of what it means when we give people the tools, the space to be themselves, to show up fully as themselves. Like when we say it's life saving, now I know what that means. And so today, my liberation, the thing that I get to do is wrap around I call them my babies, but it's really not my babies. I'm a gay mom, so I have a lot of kids, various of ages. And when I'm in community, I make sure if I see them, I'm like, okay, come on, come with me. Give me your phone number, give me your contact information. I make myself available and I leave with them and I make sure that I mention to tell them that they are everything because they are. And I know that like baby Jayden didn't necessarily, what would baby Jayden look like if she would have got those same words when I was really baby Jayden? Now I'm big mama, Um, but I just think about that liberation and also like trans joy and what my visibility means today for not just myself, but also for my kids and people that I come across. And so I'm a practitioner of anti-racism. So it's all about who are we bringing with us. It's all about showing up in spaces because we know, as I know, as a Black trans woman, how some queer spaces are not built for me. But I also know that like the liberation of like if I don't feel that sense of belonging in spaces, I know I can create those. And so some of the things that I do is I support Southern Oregon Coast Pride with their gender affirmation closet, helping people like with name changes, just kind of being a sounding board for things like what does it look like with MRT, HRT, not MRT, HRT. What does it look like with your name changes or like what did you go through when you were transitioning in like family? And thank God's goddesses, days and thems for this chosen family that I have been had the opportunity to just be connected with, and they wrapped around me. And when I started transitioning, I remember sending the email to all my community partners saying, "This is my name, this is my pronouns, period." Versus okay, I got to come out, I got to do this, and what would it look like? And I liberated my chosen family to carry the message for me. Because who wants to do that work? It's already like I just want to exist in the world without having to come out, do all of that gymnastics that we have to do when we're showing up in the world. So I don't know what my time is, um, and I
You're
think
doing
I'm
great.
close to it.
Yes, you're close to it, but you're doing great. If you want to finish
Okay.
there.
Okay. Cool. 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 I also am facilitate a trans and gender expansive space because I wanted to nip in the bud the whole thing about we learn through trial and error. There's power in community, and that's what that space does. And so people can just come in. There's no strings attached. It's not transactional. I don't even need to capture demographics. You just get to show up and ask the questions. Or if you just want to show up and grab a cup of coffee, you get to mind your trans and gender expansive business, okay? And I know sometimes that I needed that as well. And so that's my hope is in these times that we continue to throw our hands back, we continue to ask ourselves, who are we bringing with us? Who are we accountable to? When you see a queer trans baby, like wrap around them, and ask them how they would like you to show up for them. I think that's the end.
Yeah, Jayden, one last question for you, which is what do you do to get some joy in your life, to fill up your cup? What do you do besides work?
Okay, so besides work, I will tell you that I sharpen my nose. I use my calendar as my boundary setter. Like
Mhm,
before I agree to something, I always say, well, I have to check my calendar.
mhm.
Also, what people may not know because they see that we're so busy is that like my garden is like phenomenal. I have
Yeah.
everything growing in my garden and I cook and do those things. that fills my cup. And I know what to do when I feel depleted, when I feel overwhelmed. That just means I need to pause,
Yeah.
pause and get organized.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for the work you're doing in rural queer spaces. It is vitally important. Being in Wyoming myself and having been in Oregon before, I just know that our work matters a lot because sometimes these are the spaces that can be forgotten about or left behind, but it's just as important. So thank you for everything you do, Jayden, and thanks for hopping on here today. You can find more about Jayden at southcoastequity.org and find out about the work they're doing there. So thank you so much, Jayden. Have a good rest of your day. Appreciate you.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you for creating this space. I'm really grateful for the work that you've been doing
Yeah,
as
thank you.
well. So yeah, sending a whole lot of love, big love your
Yeah,
way.
back your way. All right. Thanks, Jayden.